Coming back with another quick live stream for you guys. We're officially a whole week into this new year, and I just kind of wanted to check in with everybody. I know we've had a lot of new followers, subscribers, all that good stuff recently. A lot of you guys tuning in specifically for really, two main things, maybe three, just overall business advice, quote unquote, our pest control business, journey. For those of you that don't know who I am, of course, you may be tuning in for the first time. My name is Griffin Thomas, of course. I own a couple businesses. Technically, the main one, the one that has been the most successful for us to date, has been our service business, which is a pest control business, Preferred Pest Management, in the Dallas, Texas area. On that business specifically, we've been live. I said live. We've been in business, that is, for over 3 years now, 3.5 years now. And on this channel overall, we just kind of dive into my overall business journey. I give you guys just kind of, the real spiel, what works for us, what doesn't work for us. And all this stuff that I talk about on here, it'll apply for really any service business. I know people with HVAC businesses, plumbing businesses. I know a couple of painters even. Like if you have any type of business where you're going to be providing a service for somebody, even if it's like some type of online service, you just provide some type of service to a customer. A lot of this advice is going to be to help you, just from, again, my experience, this business specifically, Preferred Pest Management, like I said, we've been in business since November of 2020. So that business has been up and going for about 3.5 years now. So as I just continue to learn more and more on that front, because I do virtually, quote unquote, everything from the marketing to the sales to the customer retention to just everything, right? Kind of wearing all the hats right now. Obviously, with time, I expect that to change as we just continue to grow and expand and, just God willing, just continue to grow to the upside. We took that business from zero, literally zero to over $100,000 a year first year in business, and now we're just slowly but surely chugging along to our ultimate goal. And if you're new to my live streams as well, by the way, these live streams specifically, anytime you see it say Q&A, a lot of this I'm going to be cutting out of the stream once it goes up to a video. But for those of you that are actually joining in here today, anytime that it's a Q&A type of live stream and you catch it live, do not hesitate whatsoever to throw your questions in, regardless. It doesn't have to be about any type of industry. It doesn't have to be, pest control. It doesn't have to be about any subject or anything. As long as, of course, it's relative to business, finance, that type of thing. That is what I'm here for you guys, just to help, answer any questions that you may have in regards to starting, your business this year. We always try to have some kind of a theme. Like today, the theme is how can you start your business and grow it to a six-figure company, in 2024. I'll give you guys just, what has, again, like everything, what has worked for me. And then, any questions that you may have, like I said, just throw them out there in the chat and I'll be sure to answer them along the way. I'm keeping the chat pulled up actually on my desktop for you guys, just that way, everything is constantly where I can check in for you guys. And yeah, with that, we'll just kind of dive right in. So, if you're looking to start a service business, like I know a majority of you are in 2024, and you're thinking about, just how can I grow that company to a six-figure company as soon as possible, right? Preferably in 1 year, like we did with Preferred Pest Management, right? What do I need to do to get to six figures? Well, there's a combination of things you're going to have to do. First and foremost, it's obviously going to depend on how much money do you have going into your business, because obviously business is a money game, right? Just like investing in the stock market, in real estate, all this other stuff. If you don't have any money to invest in, it's going to make it very difficult, not impossible, but it's going to make it very difficult for you to really get any traction going without doing a lot of what we call sweat equity activities. So what do I mean by sweat equity? Well, you're going to have to do some unconventional things like knocking on doors, going into businesses one by one, shaking hands, meeting other business owners, maybe joining, some local networking groups, chamber of commerces. Those usually do take some money, though. Usually, at least depending on the chamber of commerce or the network group you're trying to enter in, usually at least $100 to even $1,000 a year. So and Facebook groups, do some other, you just have to learn to think outside the box if you have a very limited budget in terms of going to get customers, at least early on, because, a lot of people, they'll start to kind of survive off of referrals long term. But again, that's long term. Obviously, you're not going to get referrals when you have no customers, right? No one's going to vouch for you when you have zero reputation outside of what maybe your friends and family, right? So, you have to have problem solving skills first and foremost. If you don't, you're gonna fail. But just think outside the box. Think about, what Facebook groups can I join? Like, especially in the service industry, join every local surrounding Facebook group that you see in the rules. Something about you can post a business post. Don't go into groups that don't say anything about you being able to post business posts, because you're going to get kicked, and you just don't want to start off on a bad foot with any groups. And if you have a question for them, just ask the admins. It's super easy to find admins of those Facebook groups and things like that, and make sure that you're going by their guidelines, because the last thing you want to do is go spam a group or something and then get a bad reputation for your business for that entire group, right? So do it the smart way, but by all means, like I said, join as many of these like mom groups, local, especially mom groups, because let's be real, a lot of the moms are, at home. They're the ones that are usually making the phone calls, submitting the inquiries on the websites while maybe the husband's out working or whatever the case may be. Just join all those local groups and advertise your business. Do Nextdoor. Nextdoor usually allows you for free to post twice a month. And that'll reach, I forget the radius on Nextdoor for the free post and whatnot, but it will reach your target audience on Nextdoor as well. Those are just some quick, little hacks, quote unquote, in terms of how you can get your first, I would say at least 20 to 50 customers at the minimum, if not more, depending on just how dedicated you are and how limited your budget is. Because like I said, if your budget's very, very limited, then you're gonna have to be willing to put in that sweat equity every single day, be relentless going after those leads, using the search bars. That's another thing that a lot of people don't even know about. In a lot of these groups, especially on Facebook, Facebook and Nextdoor specifically, you can go into the search bar of the specific group on Facebook, type in, pest control or and this is like for a pest control business, but any service business, right? You could type in, pest control or rodent or wildlife, different keywords that people are going to be searching for your specific service business. And then you'll see where people are literally asking for referrals. And then boom, if it's not, obviously 1, 2, 3 months in the past, go in there and be like, hey, just want to introduce myself. I actually own X company. I'd love to earn your trust in business. Feel free to DM me. Don't come off pushy. Obviously, you're kind of in that nurturing the lead process. Think of it as a lead, and you're in that nurturing process. And then from there, it's 50-50 from my experience. Half the time, they're going to message you or call you. And then the other half the time, you're not going to get nothing, right? But you have to be willing to do that stuff. And let's see, how's it going, Karate Chick? Were you able to support you and your family right off the bat, or did you have to pick up a part-time job to make ends meet? So no, I never had a part-time job. Like, I guess technically very, very early on, I did do like a little bit of DoorDash, Uber Eats. I probably made less than 200 a month, that first like month or two. It was more so for like extra money, if that makes sense. Like, if I remember right, that money went straight into the business, like for advertising and things like that, because every $100 to $500, we're looking at 1 to 5 customers, depending on, of course, where you land in terms of what you'd earn. But I had at least enough money, like I've mentioned in the past. When I started my business, I cashed out a 401k that had like, $4,000 in it, nothing crazy. I had a car that was paid off that was worth about, I forget what it was, like $7,000 or $8,000. So we sold that and we put like 2 grand of it towards a truck that we bought and kind of just saved the rest back for like invested into the business, kind of like a little rainy day because we know it's going to take a little bit to start having some business come in. But after about 3 full months in business, I started my business, like I said, November of 2020. By it was either February or March, we actually did either a video or live stream where I broke down on the desktop where I was screen sharing with you guys, like how the numbers played out. And it was like February or March, I believe, of 2020, we hit like our first $10,000 month. And then April was like another somewhere between like $10,000 to $14,000 month, and so on and so on. And, the downside of that year, even though it was a really good year, was a lot of it was not recurring income. We were having a lot of one times for like bed bug jobs, termite jobs, even just one time pest control treatments, where now my sales process has evolved over the last 3 years, and now it's kind of flipped. We sell a lot of recurring and very little one-time services, which obviously we like in the service industry, right? That's why a lot of service businesses, like specifically pest control, pool companies, things like that, where we can stack up recurring customers that pay us on a monthly or quarterly or yearly basis. We aim for yearly, and people oftentimes are like, why would you want to get paid yearly? Hear me out. If we have a service that's monthly or quarterly, what is going to cause the customer more likely to cancel the service? When they see that payment coming out every month, every quarter, whatever frequency you have it set up on, or if they just see it come out of their checking account once a year, boom, just once a year, right? From our experience, the once a year payment has been so much better in terms of customer retention. I've still yet to have actually broken down the numbers from last year for you guys. I think this year will be a better representation anyways, because we sold a lot of yearly payment, like quarterly and bi-monthly and all that type of stuff, customers last year, where the year before we were just kind of testing it out a little bit. We only had like a handful of them. But if I recall, last year we did not have any customers who paid for the entire year up front cancel service with us. So obviously that's a very, very good sign, right? Because when it comes to service businesses who have recurring income, a big factor is your cancel percentage. Because obviously if your cancel percentage is like, ideally 5% or less, but 10% or less, you're going to be growing at a massive, massive rate. How's it going, Aaron Tucker? Hi, Griffin. Just passed my exams on the first try. Good job. Congratulations. Next step for me, get my business license. I'm trying to find good business insurance. Any advice? How much should I be paying per month? So we actually went ahead and renewed with Lipka for one more year. This will be our third year, I believe, using them. Second or third, I think this is our third year now, using them. They're kind of like the quote unquote gold standard in terms of pest control business insurance, if that makes sense, Aaron. They're going to be like any business insurance. They're going to ask you how much money you plan on making, and that for the most part is going to determine what you're going to pay. Usually your first year, because they know you're going to be making such, what they assume is going to be a little amount of money, and they know most businesses fail within their first year, they're just, the odds are in their favor, right? That you're not going to be submitting a claim. On top of the fact that they're trying to get a new customer, on top of that, the first year, you're probably, if you're going to be paying for the year up front, which I suggest because you're going to save a lot of money, you end up getting like 1 or 2 months for free with a lot of them. You're probably going to be looking somewhere around $600 to $800 at the most. So, in terms of a month-to-month cost, you're talking, $50 to $80 a month, depending on what coverages you want and all that good stuff. I know our Oh man, I just looked at it like less than a week ago and I already forgot. I think ours is like a $1 or $2 million policy. It's a good enough policy where it would meet all the needs of a lot of like apartment buildings and things like that, where they want like very strict, little insurance requirements for whatever reason. Um, Only thing we don't have is workers' comp, which a lot of them do want that, but that's a totally different thing, of course. But yeah, no. In terms of the insurance, if you're going to be paying it month to month, you're going to be paying probably an extra, $10 a month roughly, depending on the finance charge. Is there any, percentage on that or anything like that they're charging, like an installment charge? But yeah, overall, it's not really. I honestly almost pay more for my licensing renewal and my continual education credits and stuff like that than I pay for my business insurance. Business insurance is one of them things where, like, I literally renewed mine like 5 minutes before it was going to be too late, just because it's one of those expenses that I don't even really think about anymore. I'm just kind of like, oh shit, I got to pay that again. Here we go. And just get it out of the way, right? What's going on, Bryson Jones? How's it going? And yeah, back to kind of like what we were talking about too. Like I said, for anyone tuning in, if you got any questions whatsoever, it doesn't have to be, about any specific industry. It can be just overall business questions, finance questions, financing the business questions, math. There's a lot of math, obviously, in business. Any questions y'all have in general, just let me know. I even got the whiteboard back here, so if I need to do any math or anything for y'all, I can break it down real quick. And what we were talking about here, the first roughly 5 to 10 minutes before I answered a couple questions from y'all, was building that business, regardless of what type of service business you're building, to 6 figures, right? Because that's kind of the first step that everybody aspires to hit, right? No one thinks, oh man, can I hit 50 grand? Can I hit 25? Can I hit 75? Some people might want to just replace their income, and if your income's 50 grand, then obviously that's kind of your first step. But let's be real. If any of us actually want to grow a business that we're proud of, in my opinion, at least, you're going to be trying to hit bare minimum $100,000 as your first, quote unquote milestone, right? So we were talking about how you can hit $100,000 your first year in business. And we started out by talking about how you can do that on a limited budget. Like we are saying, it's going to be a lot harder to do so because, obviously the more money you have, the quicker you're going to be able to advertise on platforms like Google Local Services, any type of advertising to go get leads, right? But I'm not going to go over what we just talked about. If you're all just tuning in, you can rewind it back about 10 minutes roughly. We went over some great methods to get customers for free. Now we'll kind of move on to, the different avenues of gaining customers. And we're not going to talk about just gaining customers. It's just obviously when it comes to getting to 100,000, what do you need? You need customers, right? So we're kind of going step by step. We're going to talk about, obviously, we already talked about how to get customers for free. Now we're going to talk about how you can use paid advertising to get customers. Then we're going to talk about, customer retention, which we kind of hit on briefly with billing types and stuff. We're going to talk about customer retention, and then we'll talk about some other little things that, could just help you continue to scale your business, of course. As I need a drink. Quotes in Canada for like 3,000 a year, huh? Man, freaking Canada. I like that little emoji sticker thing you got there too. Karate chick, that's pretty funny. At first I didn't know what it was. By the way, if y'all are liking the stream, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button. It helps like other people that are looking to start their service business, grow their service business, that kind of thing. Find the channel. Anytime there's engagement, regardless if it's thumbs up, thumbs down, your chat, comments, whatever the case may be, it just helps other people that are like us, just looking to, not just start their service business, but scale it specifically. Find the channel. You all have been doing a great job helping me out with, liking the videos and all of that good stuff. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are real ones. And like I always say too, because I see we're starting to get more of y'all tuning in. We got about half a dozen at the moment. If you have any questions specifically about, starting your business, scaling your business, different avenues in terms of how you can make different money. We call it vertical integration within your business. Different avenues that you can take to make money as many ways possible. Within your service business, I own a pest control business, of course, for those of you that are newer to me. And, vertical integration is definitely something that you have to consider. That was one thing that I've been talking about with my cousin up north who also owns a pest control business because his market's a little different. He even started, diving into some lawn work. I heard he just got, like a snow plow thing recently. So I guess he's going to be like doing snow removal stuff as well. So, you got to be willing to vertical integrate within your company because obviously you have your main company, the company's main service. But then from there, once you kind of not necessarily tap out that market, because I don't really believe in tapping out your market, but once you kind of get to where, okay, we've really hit this market really hard, let's start looking at ways that we can start, making money in other services that are related to this business, if that makes sense. Like you're not going out and starting a whole nother business. It's just, let's say for pest control, for example, because a lot of us here are running pest control businesses. Say you have your pest control business and your main services are, let's just say pest and termite, right? Obviously, you could have rodent, but let's just say for this example, you got pest control and your termite control, and that's kind of your bread and butter. Well, then from there, once you kind of establish a good company in terms of, you got some money coming in, maybe you want to invest in some equipment and tools and another truck and things like that. So then you can focus on like rodent exclusion and rodent removal or maybe, bed bug treatments, like with bed bug equipment. That is what's known as vertical integration, where you're starting to look at ways to make more money in your business providing other different types of services, if that makes sense. So that is one way that you can really start to scale your company that's actually really slept on, because a lot of times people don't even think about, especially in the service industry, that yes, we get just so caught up in our day to day until you actually look at your analytics and see that, holy crap, like 90% of our revenue is coming strictly from quarterly services. Why are we not selling more termite control? Or why are we not selling more commercial? Why are we not doing any bed bug treatments? And then you realize, for example, like me, because we haven't been advertising for it. Maybe we need to go ahead and kick up the ad budget a little bit for that stuff, right? So vertical integration is always a place that I like to start whenever I feel like we're kind of plateauing in terms of growth. Now, obviously, you can always just throw more money at the problem in terms of your advertising and things like that to go get more customers. But I'm a strong believer too, just based on, again, my experience. I'll give you guys a prime example. We have 3 Google ads running right now that I have pulled up here. And the Google ads have been doing pretty good for us. We've had some pest control customers come in from it. Analytics haven't changed here the last hour, apparently. But yesterday, I fired up, or not yesterday, over the weekend, I fired up a bed bug campaign, created a whole new landing page, new tracking phone number, just got the whole ad set up and on Friday. And it started running late Friday night into Saturday. And Sunday, we got our first conversion. We probably had 3 to 5 total clicks from the campaign because, like I said, it's just a bed bug campaign. It's not targeting all pest control and this and that. It's strictly bed bug campaign. And it got something like 5 clicks between Saturday and Sunday. And then finally, like I said, Sunday, we got a conversion. Someone not only called us, he submitted a lead form, and he texted us. So he was clearly very interested, and we sold him on a minimum $1,300 to $1,700 bed bug job that we're going to be doing. We're supposed to be doing it this week, but I guess he's off for Martin Luther King Day, so we're going to go out there Monday and knock it out, and it only costs $31 for the total acquisition cost. Had I not even looked at just my overall analytics on my Gorilla Desk CRM, which if you don't know what Gorilla Desk is, by the way, it's an amazing tool that we use at Preferred Pest Management. It's not just for pest control businesses. If you have any service business where you're providing services like going out to a customer's home, or really you just have a use for a calendar in general, to be honest. Oops, this freaking wire is causing the phone to kind of go around. If you have any use for like a calendar with services specifically, I highly suggest using Gorilla Desk because they're very cheap. It's a cheap CRM. They have plans, of course, as low as $49 a month. We use their pro version. It's $99 just because if you have to actually go to specific locations, like you're a pool company, pest control company, plumbing, HVAC, electrician, whatever the case may be, they have mapping tools in there where you can actually, it'll route your day for you for like best timing and all that stuff. So like that alone is worth the extra 50 a month in my opinion. And by the way, speaking of which, shameless plug because I don't like ask you guys for money or anything. If you do decide you want to use Gorilla Desk, we have an affiliate link for you guys now, which will be in the description box. I believe it should be in the description box, like all videos and stuff. But they're going to give you 14 days of that pro version for free, so you can try it out if nothing else, see if you like it. But my whole point with that is on Gorilla Desk, you can actually go in there and see, based on your tags and everything, what services you've sold this year, what customers have been sold how many of what job did you sell this month, this year, etc. And I saw that we had like zero, like it wasn't zero, but it was like less than 5 bed bug jobs. And I was just like, that's unacceptable, dude. I was like, we got to do something because bed bugs it's one of those type of jobs where like you don't depend on them, at least in my opinion. It's not a service that we want to depend on, but it's a service that can literally fund other advertising for continuing to scale up our recurring revenue, if that makes sense. Same thing with termite. I saw we did horrible on termite this year, which I noticed that all year. We didn't really sell a lot of termite, but I plan on, once February, March rolls around down here and we start warming up in Texas, we're going to fire up a termite campaign as well. But yeah, like I said, vertical integration and then acting on that data that you see, it's going to make the difference in terms of, just kind of slowly, kind of just chug it, chug it, chug, 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 versus actually, hence the name vertical. One, you're going kind of straight down in terms of your services, but your revenue is going to be going straight up too. Let's see. Aaron said, did my question last time about bed bugs instigate your bed bug campaign? Oh man, in all honesty, I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will say though that I just had a consultation with one of you guys. I don't think it was you, Aaron. I think it was a guy named Kevin, if I recall. I forget. I talked to so many of you guys anymore. We had a little 1 hour consultation recently, and we were just talking about Google Ads, and he said he had a buddy or something who was just making a killing off of bed bug campaigns for Google Ads. And I was like, really? I was like, that's kind of surprising because the CPC, the cost per click, is very low for Google Ads on like bed bug terms. So I was kind of interested. It sparked my interest because I know, like I said, how much. And then looking at my analytics on Gorilla Desk, I was like, dude, we got to sell more bed bug jobs. I was like, there's money to be made out there. And, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So it sparked my interest, and we literally just like I said, Friday evening, I sat down for about an hour or so, created the landing page. I'll try to remember, like, take a screenshot of it and post it, like, on my community tab and YouTube, as well as in the Discord, Facebook, all that. And I'll, like, post the link in there as well so y'all can see what my landing page looks like for it. And, I mean, like, I just acted immediately. And, yeah, I mean, the cost per click so far has only been like $15. Like, I'm almost scared to be giving this information away to a lot of you pest control guys. Oh man, thank you so much, JVJ. Man, yeah, you didn't even have to do that. I appreciate it. You're actually my first. It let me know you're my first super chat. I appreciate that so much. Let's see. And JVJ said, I have my CA and I've been working for a pest control company for 7 years as a supervisor. I'm looking to get on my own. How do I avoid lawsuits if I have old customers? So I'm assuming when you say like you have old customers that you're saying like you're obviously like going to be like kind of taking some customers from your previous employer. It's very touchy, I'll say. let me see. I don't know if you said if it was a big company. I've been working for a pest control company for 7 years. Depending how big the company is, if it's just a handful of customers, they probably won't even notice it. I know me personally, I thought I was going to take some and I never ended up even like acting on it just because I got busy so quickly. But I have had a couple over the years that actually like found my company and reached out to me. Big company, ABC. Oh, ABC, like down here. Are you in Texas? Because yeah, that is a pretty big company. If so, I believe it's ABC down here. I think they actually originated over here, if I remember right. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, if it's a big company, as long as you're not, you know, I I use the term common sense with it, right? Because think about it. You have, well, you're not running a route actually, so you may not even have this issue. You're a supervisor, so because like what I'll tell pest control technicians specifically who like they have a route is like, dude, don't be dumb, right? Don't get your whole customer list and go take half the route, right? Because that's just screaming red flag that you know it's just obvious, right? Like coincidentally, as you got fired or you quit or whatever the case may be, half your route disappears overnight. Like obviously you're going to be getting in trouble at that point. But say like, especially you being that, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't believe since you're a supervisor that you're really running a route per se, unless if you're just kind of filling in occasionally for a call in. Um, in all honesty, dude, you should probably be fine, but I would just kind of keep it on the low, maybe depending on how many of them there are, just kind of do it in little batches. Like maybe when their service month is, assuming it's like quarterly, bi-monthly, things like that, and just kind of hit them up around when that service time is going to be. Or, I mean, you could just hit them all up at once, but then just give them the rundown of like, hey, I got to kind of keep that on the low. So, wait to cancel until your service is coming due. Now, obviously, if they have some type of contract where they need to let them know within 30 days, make sure that they obviously hit that 30 days. But yeah, I mean, it definitely gets a little dicey for sure. Because, like, of course, I can even tell you're kind of like me from the sense of like, because you said that they're the customers that like only it sounds like they've mentioned it to you specifically that they're wanting to go with you. So it's not like you're actively like going to be calling up a whole customer list of half the company, right? It's just customers that really like you. You probably had them tell you same stuff like what I had customers tell me for years when I was at Terminex, which was, man, like if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be with this company. Like, because they know how the payment, I'd tell them straight up how the payment plan worked at Terminex. I was like, if you cancel, it hurts my pay. And I had a lot of customers who would tell me outright, like, I can't stand this company if it wasn't for you. And, you keeping my rate from going up and this and that. Like, I would cancel with the company tomorrow. And you probably have had similar encounters, I'm sure. So it's like, I don't see it as being, what's the word I'm looking for? Like deceitful, like unethical, I guess, right? To me, there's a fine line with it. Like unethical, like we said, would be kind of the obvious where, you're going in after hours, printing out a huge customer list and, you know, stashing it in your personal office or something at the house and calling them all up one by one, right? But yeah, I mean that's how I would go about it. Like if I were you, that's kind of the best answer that I can kind of come up with for that. Hopefully it does help. And like I said, man, thanks so much for the super chat. Yeah, I've never had it. I had one of y'all join like the little membership thing before, but YouTube even said, let's celebrate the first super chat on your live stream. So yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I love you all so much. Let me see. I think we had another question in here too. Aaron Tucker also said, a lot of money in bed bugs to use Crossfire. So no, as of now, I have not ever used Crossfire. I know a buddy of mine in DFW as well who uses Crossfire and swears by it. Me personally, I've just been, believe it or not, Tempered and sometimes Alpine WSG as well. Believe it or not, them two have been good for us. Like we haven't had callbacks Now, like I said, last year I did almost no bed bug treatments, so it's a new year. Anything can happen, right? But in terms of those type of treatments, yeah, I mean, I've been mostly using just either Tempered or Alpine WSG. Now that I'm starting to run low on both of those products, I have considered going ahead and purchasing some Crossfire, even just like a little bottle, if nothing else, just to try it out and see how I like it. But I know it's kind of the standard, and like it's kind of the gold standard in terms of bed bug treatments as well. So yeah. And just to give you guys an idea, we were talking about vertical integration and, how I fired up that campaign, like for our pest control business specifically. Like I said, guys, I mean, pest control is like my business, right? But all this stuff that we're talking about here, it applies to any type of service business. If you're a plumber, right? You might do something for, I don't know, what, unclogging sinks. And then you might have one for like unclogging, like, I don't know. I'm not a plumber, so I'm just trying to come up with random examples here. But like, for example, we have going to our bed bug campaign here. See, today this ad only has 45 impressions, because it's a very niche service. Has no clicks, no conversions, no just 45 impressions. So I mean, it has lower impressions, but because it is such a niche target in terms of like target audience that we're looking for, then let me see. Trying to go back here, just like the last 7 days. It allows for a very, look at this. I mean, let's see, this campaign fired up Friday the 5th, and like I said, it was late Friday, so it only got seven impressions with no clicks. It didn't cost us nothing on Friday. Since Friday night, really Saturday, it's gotten a total of 5 clicks at $14.10 per click, so a net cost of $70.52 overall, with one conversion so far. So we sold, say, like none of those clicks that we have end up turning into anything, which they might not. I mean, my rule of thumb is for every 10 clicks, if we can get 2 to 4 conversions, that's a very good campaign. And then out of there, of course, because what are conversions? Just to kind of, a little pop quiz for you all. What are conversions? Conversions are just leads, right? So for every 10 clicks, we'll just say, kind of split the difference, 3 conversions. If we can get 2 sales out of that, we're doing really, really good. So if we can get 2 sales for every 10 clicks, that's doing good. So at this rate, we're looking at around an average acquisition cost of around $70, which is not bad. And that obviously the sales price, it's a big ticket item for us. I mean, that's what, a 200%, no, more than that. Let's see, it's a 20x return on the money. So that's why, like, I love Google Ads in general, Google Ads and vertical integration. And that leads me really to the next part about how you're going to grow your business from, 0 to 6 figures in 2024, or wherever you're at, to 6 figures in 2024 is pay to play. You got to put your money in the business. Can't stress it enough. I keep trying to bang this into my cousin's head right now. He's kind of in a tough spot, in terms of being able to do so at the moment, but I keep telling him, like, dude, like, you're not doing enough. You're not thinking big enough. Like, you need to put money into the marketing. You got to. Like, and a lot of people are just afraid to. They think, like, Google Ads, for example, like, well, it's very confusing. It's very this, it's very that, it's very expensive. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not cheap. You're not going to get leads for $5, $10, hell, maybe even $20. But, before today, we'd only spent $31 and we got that bed bug sale. Now we've spent another $39 today, apparently. If my math is right, let me see. Cost. or no, sorry, we spent $48.96 today. And, or no, that was yesterday. Okay, so that's my fault, actually. We spent $49 yesterday to get that lead, and we spent an additional 21 today based on that math. But my whole point is like, yes, like it's gonna cost money, but like if you really want to take your service business to that next level, you're going to have to learn to let go of some of the money so that you can obviously multiply it. Like it's just like investing. I mean, I cannot stress it enough. It is just like investing. What do you do with a 401k, a Roth IRA, any type of investment that you're putting in, right? You literally let go of the money for a longer period of time, by the way, because how we run Google ads, Facebook ads, more so Google than anything. But how we run Google ads is we're looking at what we call the net 30. By 30 days, we need to be at net positive or at least net zero, meaning that we have at least made the advertising money back within 30 days. So, for example, we could go just off that one campaign, but you know what? Let's go ahead and do all campaigns, as a matter of fact. So, over the last 7 days, we've spent $214 on Google Ads, and we have made, just getting the calculator out real quick so I'm not just guesstimating for you guys. So we've got, let's see, 95 plus 399 plus, we'll just assume bottom dollar on this bed bug job that we just sold. So that $214 just as of now, not including follow-ups for some of these other jobs that we sold that are coming up literally this week, next week, etc. Just as of this week, that $214 in Google Ads has made us $1,794. Plus the sales tax, but I don't count sales tax because you don't keep the sales tax, obviously. But $1,794, I will take that. That is a, 8x? Damn near 9? Like 8 to 9x return on our money. Obviously, that's before, like, that's gross profit on the ad, right? Like, gross margin, I guess I should say. Like, it doesn't factor in, of course, we have to pay for the chemical. We have to pay for wear and tear on our vehicles and our equipment and to pay me. But, like, in all honesty, guys, out of that $1,794, I'm probably going to put at least 1,000 of it back into the Google ads. So what does that mean now? That means that, the next $1,000 of Google ads, it's covered, right? So, like I said, you got to be willing to put some money up. But then once you get that first sale, that second sale, etc., especially if you can get, a big job like a bed bug job, a rodent exclusion job, a termite job, something that is like big money, north of $1,000, then, the ads literally just start paying for themselves and you start to have a literal money printing business. Oh, what? Said the fan might be making. It shouldn't be because it's not on high. Like, I can't even feel it right now, to be honest. And how's it going, Brandon? Is it still choppy, by the way? I might pull these out, actually. Let me know real quick. I see there's like 4 or 5. I was wondering, we went from like 7 or 8 of you in here down to 2, like super quick. I wonder if it's because my stuff's touching my laptop. Eventually, I'm going to have like such a good setup in here. For those of you that are newer, just bear with me. Like, I just moved from downstairs. I had an office set up downstairs, and I just moved upstairs like right around the new year. So I'm still, getting settled in here, getting everything set up the way that I want it. Over this, now that I'm quote unquote getting paid from YouTube, like if you watch my YouTube video the other day about how little YouTube pays, it's not even enough worth mentioning. But as I do get money from YouTube, I plan on, just reinvesting that money into, some more equipment and things like that. just to make the videos and stuff like that much better for you guys. I've already been investing in some software and stuff like that to make like editing a little bit better and things like that. So it says, you have just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and change these out real quick, and then I'll answer your next comment. Hopefully that'll work a little better. Getting some behind the scenes action here. Let me know if that got better for you all too. Man, JVJ, you're awesome. I was not expecting anybody to donate into the super chat. That was awesome. Gonna make more off of that super chat than I'll make in 3 days from YouTube. Let's see. The fans just also appreciate your content. I appreciate you tuning in, man. I'm starting my own pest control company in New York State. Man, you're like the 10th one from New York. Let's see. This year and have been soaking up all the good information you're sharing. No, I appreciate it. Like I always like to know that, the information does help because, otherwise why keep doing it, right? Yeah, no, it's been awesome. The last 2023 in general, like I did not realize how many of you guys, specifically in the pest control business, like, I mean, I know obviously, we get a lot of people subscribing to the channel for, because this YouTube channel in general kind of applies to a broad audience, like the service sector, if that makes sense. Anyone that's looking to start a service business, a lot of the Google ad content that we run, a lot of ad content in general. As a matter of fact, that we talk about on here will apply to any market, right? Pest control, plumbing, a lot of trades and service. If you're, like I said towards the beginning of the stream, if you're starting any type of service business, obviously like our content is going to be, in my opinion, great for you. Like for those of you that are like just getting started, I only talk from, that's another thing I try to, stay, quote unquote humble about is, I don't pretend to know it all. I'm just literally telling you guys from my experiences what works for me, things that I have become not enlightened on, but just, has become apparent, has become obvious to me. Things that like Google ads, like this is why I'm like beating this into everyone's head that like invest as much as you can into, doesn't even have to be just Google ads because like it's different for I noticed that even with service businesses for different, parts of the country, Google ads may work horribly and Facebook ads may work great. So if Facebook ads is what works for you, then but find whatever avenue is going to work for your business and just go all in. Like just put all the eggs in that basket. People that say diversify and this and that, they always have the same shit in common. They're either broke or they're just, just above broke at the end of the day. Or they don't even own a freaking business and they're trying to tell you how to run your own. Like, tell me how that makes sense. A lot of y'all going to business school learning from professors who haven't even owned a business in their life. Like, make that make sense. But yeah, I mean, that's what we all like just talk about here. It's like we just come together and it helps me too. Like a lot of the whole, because of course I've been having some of you guys reach out to me on my website wanting to do consultations and things like that. And like a lot of times I'll learn stuff from you guys as well. Like in terms of, you get my brain going and then I start thinking, like I said, I was chatting with Mr. Kevin and he, told me about his buddy who's running Google ads for bed bugs only. And I was like, he's got 4 trucks just doing, like the dude has, it sounds like, not a whole lot of recurring clients and it's all bed bug. And I was like, dude, what? I was like, there's no way there's that many people with bed bugs. Well, so far, it's looking pretty promising. Mike is all good now. Awesome. JVJ says, if I'm just starting my own and don't trust others. Should I just focus on pest control and do rodent exclusion on the weekends, or try to do both? When you say you don't trust others, are you saying like because like you don't plan on hiring it out, or because like you're trying to kind of be on the low? Because there's two ways that I'm like interpreting that question. I'm kind of interpreting it as like you're not wanting to hire any help for the exclusion work, and you're saying like, hey, I plan on the pest control keeping me pretty busy overall. So should I just do exclusion rodent service on the weekends? Don't plan on hiring. So yeah, if you don't plan on hiring, yeah, just get in some kind of schedule, because like I know for us, for example, I'm actually doing all of our rodent work now too. Hopefully that's not going to last very long, but for now, that's what I'm doing. And I'll just tell the people straight up, I'm like, yeah, we got about a 1 week turnaround. I'll confirm the time and day with you later this evening once I get back to the house and, finish up, your finalized quote and all that stuff. I'll send you over a time frame that I plan on, knocking this out for you. So yeah, I mean, just get on. That's what I would do. Yeah, you're pretty spot on with that. I would just get in a set schedule that is best for your pest control customers, because obviously that's your recurring income, that's your baby, that's what you want to take care of first and foremost. And then whenever you got time to do so, like you said, do the exclusion work. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, and that's part of what I call low cost labor at the end of the day. And that's why, like me personally, I plan on paying decently. Like, obviously, in this industry, you can only afford to pay so much, but I plan on paying well enough. And, there's a lot of things that are going to be happening that, you know, not necessarily going to have to. I mean, obviously, you're going to have to worry about that still, just because that's what comes with, growing a business ultimately. But, if you want to just kind of get out of the whole corporate BS and just kind of, grow your own thing, like I've talked about on this channel. And like I actually just created a short for you guys that'll be going out sometime within this week, I believe. About the fact that I know a lot of people who they're out here on their own doing $200,000 to $300,000 a year. So when I talk about massive growth and stuff like that, that's for people that are looking at trying to hit 7, 8, 9, who knows, maybe even 10, if you're going super crazy, right? 7, 8, 9 figures. And, not everybody wants to do that in the first place either. Who knows, maybe I'll get to 7 or 8 and be like, dude, fuck this. I ain't going to 9, right? It all just depends on what everyone wants at the end of the day. And yeah, I mean, you'll still be able to make a solid $250,000 if you want. Like I said, it's all about, how much work-life balance do you want? Obviously there's a lot that goes into that, of course, but yeah, you can still definitely. I mean, a lot of people would say that I make a lot of money. I don't think I do, but a lot of people would say because our company did over 150, 100, what was it, almost $160,000 last year, that oh, you're making damn good money. I'm like, not after Uncle Sam gets his fat piece, and you pay for expenses and all that. It's really not that much. The NOI was only about what, 77, 78,000. So it's like, I mean, not bad for working, out in the field very, very part time, but, you know, not something that I'm like super proud of or anything yet. I was trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to hit on for you guys today, just really quick about, growing your business from 0 to 6 figures, this year, 2024. I guess one thing I want to hit on too, just real quickly, is automation. The sooner that you can apply, I'm not saying to make everything automated, use AI stuff on everything, but the more that you can like I don't even know, is that even a word? The more that you can automate it will make your life so much easier. Like what I do is we use Zapier, which is a free tool that you can create up to like 5 what they call zaps. I've talked about it briefly. I'll probably end up doing like some videos and tutorials for you guys soon, as a matter of fact, so you guys can get an actual look at, how it works. We actually dove into it on a live stream right around the holidays, if I remember right. And what we do is Zapier is we'll actually go in there and connect it from our website to our CRM, Gorilla Desk, and same thing with CallRails too. We'll do the same. Like we can connect all these different platforms to where they will communicate with each other. So when a phone call comes in, boom, it gets entered as a lead automatically. It gets entered into our phone service that we use, Open Phone, to where that customer is already populated with their name and everything, so we don't have to go in there and type it all in manually. It saves so much time. Now, there is a paid version for them that you can get as well. I think it's like $20 or $30 a month, if I recall. That's once you tap out. They have a free version where you can do up to 5 zaps. I believe it's 5 or 10. Definitely utilize them because like I've been using Zapier for at least 6 months now, and I just now finally got to the point with all the Google ads and stuff that we're running that we have to use something like 12 or 13 of them now, if not more, because I'm still in the process of making them. It just makes your life so much easier because, like I said, it saves so much time. Now we have it to the point in our Gorilla Desk in our CRM that we use, Gorilla Desk, that by the time we get off the phone with somebody or they submit a form on our website, boom, it's entered into Gorilla Desk immediately under the inbound lead section. We can go directly to inbound leads. Excuse me. We can go directly to inbound leads, and then from there, there's a little option that says, turn them into an active customer, and then from there, you put them on the schedule and all that type of stuff. Let's see. Do they have a non-compete? Oh, you're asking about his job, ABC. I think so, but you can start your own, but can't take. Yeah. So the whole non-compete, exactly. Yeah, you're spot on, JVJ. The whole thing with the non-compete, guys, is like he said in the comments there in the chat. The non-compete is the only thing that it can do is prevent you from stealing their customers. Like they can go after you if they have reason to believe that you're stealing your customers. And even then, it's not like, oh, you're served, like, see you in court. They'll send you what's called a cease and desist letter first. So it's kind of like a warning, right? So if you ever get that, that obviously means, hey, you better kind of lay low. You can respond to it too if you wish. Like, say they send it to you and you know it's total BS, you haven't taken a single customer, you can respond to them just kind of, not being a DIK or anything like that. But, just let them know, like, hey, I'm not doing nothing, blah, 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 like, chill out. Or like I said, you can lay low. I've never gotten one. I just know, like, kind of, I've heard how the process works. Like, it's not something that, boom, you're in court in a week or something crazy like that. It goes cease and desist, and then from there, you've been served or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like I said, as long as you're using common sense and not just going out taking dozens or hundreds of their customers, you're gonna be fine. Like there's not really much to worry about there. And they can't do anything like he said about you just simply starting a business, right? Like that's not remotely a thing that they can do at all. Trying to think. Was there anything else? So we hit on so just to recap in this video, what we discussed was, oh my gosh, what all did we go over? My gosh. Trying to think from the very beginning. So in this video, what we talked about is that how you can obviously take your company from 0 to 6 figures. We started with how you can do it with no money. Obviously, that's going to be your longest path. You're going to be doing things like reaching out on Facebook groups, reaching out on Nextdoor, looking in those Facebook groups specifically using the little search bar and looking for people that are looking for your services. That's a free and easy way to do it. Just create the same little message that you're going to copy and paste in the comments and all that type of stuff. Same thing on Nextdoor, and I'm sure there's other platforms out there as well anymore. And then another option from there, of course, is hopping into paid advertising. Specifically, before you hop into paid advertising, look into vertical integration within your company. Again, if you don't know what vertical integration is, it's just pretty much you have your main services that your company, is built on, and then from there, kind of going beneath the surface to see like, okay, what can we sell that we're not, if that makes sense. Like we said, the easiest example is say you're just doing pest control, right? Pest, termite, that's it. Then maybe you can go another layer below and, okay, maybe we can do actual like termite insurance in terms of like termite prevention, not just termite treatments, but termite prevention now. Maybe we're going to do rodent exclusion services where before we were just doing rodent baiting. Now we're going to do rodent exclusion. That's just one example from the pest control industry side of things. And then from there, taking action on that and actually setting up Google ad campaigns with lead magnets, which we didn't even really hit on today, but set up a good lead magnet on your Google ad to a good landing page that has little to no resistance on the page. That way you can get the customer's information, get that put into your email marketing and SMS marketing. That way, even if you don't sell them, you can at least retarget them over and over and over and over until they either buy something or obviously unsubscribe from your list, if nothing else. But at least at that point, you exhausted all your options. And then from there, you're on your way to building your 6 to 7 figure empire. Obviously, that's just primarily from the customer acquisition side of things. You could, of course, last option would be, buying out other small companies. But most of you are probably like me, where you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth or anything, and you don't have just hundreds of thousands of dollars to fall back on to buy up, little routes or anything like that. So that is, kind of the blueprint on how you can, start your service business with no money and grow it to 6 figures in 2024. Let's see. So we had a couple comments come in here from you all. How would they know your customer is going to rat you out? If I take 100 customers, they will notice, but not 10 to 12. Yeah, no, exactly. How long is non-compete? Most non-competes are usually 1 to 2 years from my experience. That's specifically in the pest control industry. Every industry is going to be different when it comes to a non-compete. I've heard of some being ridiculously long, like 3 years, 5 years. I think the longest I've ever heard was like 7 years. And again, that wasn't the pest control industry. I forget what industry that was. It may have been like a lawyer or a CPA accountant. I forget which field that was that I heard about that in. But it depends. Each company is different. Exactly. Yeah. So if y'all don't have any other questions or anything, we'll probably start to go ahead and wrap this up. It's crazy that we've already been on here over an hour. For those of you that are like new, just tuning in, feel free to go ahead and swipe back. We went over a lot of good, in my opinion, good, valuable information on how to, start your business, from zero and take it to 6 figures. For those of you that, again, don't know who I am, you may be seeing this, you may be hopping in the live right now for the first time. Of course, my name is Griffin Thomas. I started a pest control business back in 2020, Preferred Pest Management. You can look it up, if you wish. Like I said, we're in the Dallas, Texas area. We've been in business over 3 years now, and on this channel, I just kind of document, my overall business journey. I've been posting on YouTube now for 7 going on 8 years. Started way back as a little college dropout, 18-year-old who was just selling things on Amazon, FBA, and eBay, and not the Amazon dropshipping BS either, not that scam. Literally going out, finding stuff that I could resell on Amazon and eBay, and what I do from there. Went from doing that to investing and trading in the stock market. And then, now we got a pest control business. Like I said, we're in year 4 now already. It's just crazy to think about. We're in year 4, and year 1, we took that business from 0 to 100K. And now we're just, chugging along on our way to that 7-figure level. And, like I said, just kind of document my journey, answer your all's questions along the way. So if you feel like you could get any valuable information from the channel in the future, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button below and hitting the bell icon beside it. Definitely make sure you hit the bell icon, because I notice YouTube for some reason just won't notify you of anything. So even I have to start hitting the bell icon on people I subscribe to, because like you'll just miss out on everything otherwise. And if you all did find some valuable information from today's stream as well, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button on the stream as well. That'll help other people find the stream, once it uploads from a live stream to a video. And of course, lastly, before we go ahead and wrap this up, if you're not already in our Discord group, Facebook group, all of that, they're totally free to join. Links for them are in my LinkTree, which is in the description box below as well. And if you're somebody who is, kind of scared, like we were talking about, of Google Ads specifically, like you need to run Google Ads for your business, but you're kind of afraid to get started, we do now have two things for you guys. We, one, have a complete, easy little, it's like a course essentially from start to finish on how to run a Google, not just start the Google ad, but actually run and manage your Google ad. I created that this past week for you guys on my website. I believe there should be a link in the description box for that as well. And then if you don't think that that's even something you want to bother with, like you just look at everything, you're like, man, there's just too much, I can't do this. Then, we can manage it for you. Technically, it's not something that I even ideally want to do, to be honest, but I just want to see you all succeed at the end of the day. And I've had enough people inquire about that where I was like, you got to give people what they want. That's what I was talking about on my video about, YouTube the other day. The live stream we did about making money on YouTube was, you give away enough free information, the people will tell you what they need from you at the end of the day. And you guys, have been asking for Google Ads content and Google Ads services and things like that. So, you ask and you shall receive at the end of the day. Like I said, all that information is in the description box below. Y'all can check that out. We're going to have a special little announcement for you guys on that stuff specifically coming up here. Let's see, what's today? Tuesday. So here probably Friday or Saturday, going into the weekend for you guys. So definitely, like I said, if you haven't already subscribed, hit the bell icon, all that, so you don't miss it. I'll be sure to schedule the live stream just like I did for this one. That way you guys can hit the little thing where it says be notified when the stream goes live. I'm going to schedule it so you guys can be notified when that stream goes live as well. And yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up everything for today's stream. I don't think we have any other comments. Let's see, how long is non-compete? Yeah, we went over that. JVJ said we appreciate you. No, I appreciate you all. I always appreciate you all tuning in as always. Like I said, my only ask is if you know anyone that could benefit from the content, share it with them. If you like the streams, of course, videos, whatever you run into from the channel, hit the thumbs up if you like it. It just helps other people find it over time. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got some more work I got to do on the business before I head down with the family and all that good stuff tonight. And hopefully you all have a good evening. Keep on smashing 2024. Let's become millionaires this year. And I'll see you all in the next one.